what's up? Today I'll be talking about the sequel to Trilogy of the Terror, Trilogy of the Terror 2. I say of the Terror. And it could be a great part 3, right? Trilogy of Terror 2, I remember seeing this on television. I think it was on TBS or TNT when it premiered, if I'm corrected. But it's so long I saw it. But I remember enjoying it though. And I actually thought, I'm not sure, I thought Karen Black was in this, but I guess I was wrong. I was shocked. I thought she was in it. Anyway, I got no time on IMDb on this. 3 stories, just like the last movie. Of course, part 2 also got the return of the evil voodoo doll. It wasn't a voodoo doll, it was an evil doll from the first movie, which was part of the 3rd story, just like the last movie. First story, you got this, in this sequel, you got this woman, right? And she got a problem with her husband, who's like this old rich guy, and he's going to blackmail her if she leaves. So the woman that she's gonna sleep with was her cousin. Was kind of yucky, that she's having an affair on her husband on him, and her lover and telling her, let's kill him. So they ended up killing the old guy. The woman, that lover, ended up going to bury the guy, and when they went back and found what the will, she ain't gonna get no money because like the money was coded and stuff. So they wonder how they're gonna get the code, So they wonder that what, the last place might be in his coffin, his grave. So they got back to the grave, and they saw the grave robber trying to rob her ex-husband. The woman and her lover killed the grave digger pretty much, and now they're going after the old guy's dead body, and they found out that the film is inside his watch, his clock watch, his pocket watch, excuse me, and then the woman decided to kill her lover because she wanted the money for herself, and they saw the body being dragged. She saw the body being dragged, and when she's going after the old man's body, she realized that the rats are taking away the body. So she actually had courage to go in there and kill the rats, kill a little bit of the rats though with the gun she has, and then even though with the rats behind her, she's still going after the fucking pocket watch that contains the film of the code to get the money and stuff. But of course, it's pretty obvious the rats killed her, and she's just dead. They ate her. And then we got the second story, which was like my favorite. I don't know why, but for some reason that very anthology horror movies for me is that it's always like a side story, or first or second story that will stand out from the 3rd story, which I'll get to later, by the way. But this second story I like is about this woman who had guilt over her son. She decided to dabble over black magic, by the way, to bring her son back to life. And when she does, the son comes back, and the son is like different now. He's like more vicious, like evil and stuff. And the woman ended up being scared of her own son. And then while it's pretty much like a cat and mouse game now, because now the son's going after his mom. He's gonna kill her, and you'd be wondering why is he doing this. And then you find out that the boy's death wasn't like an accidental death, and then pretty much the woman brought the son back out of guilt, and the boy wanted the truth, talk to me how you used to talk to me, like when you scream at him and stuff. And then while the boy was trying to kill his mom, the mom had to pick up a gun and kill the boy. He went back falling out the window down to the waters, down the cliff like of water and stuff. And then the boy came back alive, and the boy pushed the mother downstairs, and then the boys are saying that Bobby never wanted to come back. Like that she's telling his mother that I'm not Bobby, I'm somebody else. And then you find out that somebody else was actually a demon going to kill the mom because Bobby sent the demon over to kill the mother for revenge. And then you got the 3rd story, which is pretty obvious, a remix of the 3rd story from the first movie. But the thing is, it was actually a sequel to the 3rd story because it takes place right after what happened in the first story. Karen Black turned into the evil doll creature now, and then the cops are investigating the murder of Karen Black's character, who's dead, and the mother that she killed that was supposed to come from the last episode of the 3rd story. She's dead too, and then they find the voodoo doll was burned in the oven, just like how Karen Black's character killed the doll in the 3rd story in the first movie. So the cops took the doll, give it to the scientist lady to test the doll out, see what's going on, any evidence, what does it have to do with the case. And then the woman was in the science lab trying to find out what's going on with this doll, scraping it and stuff. And then well, she goes downstairs. The security guard eats some pizza and stuff. She came back, realized the doll is missing. The security guard went out looking for the doll. The doll killed the security guards pretty much. And then when the woman saw that, she ran. She got into the elevator, and then the doll appears attacking the woman, and the woman's finding the doll off, you know. And then the woman went back to the science lab. And there were scenes like paying homage to the third story from the first movie, like how the doll's cutting through the suitcase. But in this one, he's cutting through a case instead. How it was cutting, how it came out, it was just like the third story, like how it was just remixed in a way. And then while the woman was finding the doll off, the finale of it, she took the doll, put the doll in the acid bath, and pretty much drowning the doll. The doll ended up dying, like, and the woman decided to open the plastic case of acid. And guess what? 3 hours the dog soul inside the woman, and the woman's boyfriend decided to come in, open the elevator, and the scientist woman turned into the doll now, but she got an axe, killed her boyfriend with the axe. You see the fangs, and I thought it was pretty cool, how they set that up. But to me, out of the 3 stories in this sequel, I feel like the second story was awesome. I actually, because I kind of like the suspense of it. It got you curious, like, oh, what's going to happen next and stuff. And creepy kids are always like fucked up in horror movies, so you kind of enjoy that for a moment. And I would say that the second story. I would say to myself, I wish the second story was the third story, and the third story was the second story, because I feel like that was the best main event of this movie. Even though all the 3 stories were good, but the second story was the best, guys. Anyway, Trilogy of Terror Part 2. Check it out. Peace, guys. See you later.